Thank you guys for coming to our meeting. So this meeting is to get all of us on the same page on Sunday nights, because there are 8 different ministries or regions would come through here, and so we want it to be uniform, especially for the parents, so that it's not changing for them every week, because we're not all on the same page. So that's the reason for our getting together. So this is basically for Sunday nights at Red Hill. There are 2 adults everywhere at all times. So what does that look like? That means there has to be at least 2 people here before we allow the kids to come in. So let's say there isn't 2 people here. You just have 1 person here. Well, then you have to ask the parent and say, hey, would you like to come and hang out over here with your child until our second person comes in? So that way, there's 2 adults, right? And with even though it's just with their child, that there's that accountability. So, yeah. And then there's also, you have to make sure that all of your volunteers have been background checked if they're 18 and older. If they're younger, then they would have to be, they would be junior helpers, which means that they have to be from age 13 to 17. They would have to be certified, which means they would watch a video and answer some questions. And once they're done with that and they pass the test, then they become certified and they can help in here. So any children under 13 would need, unless they're grandfathered in, they need to be, they won't be able to be in the nursery. And the nursery is for 0 to 35 months. So once you turn 3, we have another class for them downstairs called the Rainbows. So they would be in that class. So there shouldn't be any children that's 3 and older here. We're doing that because we don't want these parents with infants. They're coming in, they want to bring their infants in here, but they see a 4-year-old, throwing a toy around. The parents would be like, no, I think I'll keep my child. So we don't want that happening. So here are the breakdowns, okay? So we got 1 through 18 months, which would be called nursery or infants. Okay, and then you have 19 to 35 months. It would be called toddler class, or walkers. Now, right now they're all together in this room, but in a month or so we're gonna split this, and these older ones will be in 107, and then the younger ones will be here in the nursery. Okay, and then so now we have ratio. So 1 adult for 2 children for the infants. For the toddlers, 1 adult for 4 children. So as you can see, if it's 2 adults everywhere at all times, we got 2 adults, which means you have 4 infants. Okay, so if we want more than 4 infants, we have to have more adults. All right, I know that it's you have to make the call now. You can go less, but you can't go more. You can't do more children. So you might have an infant that needs one-on-one for whatever reason, right? Then you can only take 3 kids because the other. You see what I'm saying? But you can't do 2 adults and 5 children because that's kind of breaking the ratio. So you have to make the call, and if you only have 2 here and then you're at 4 infants, another parent comes in and says, oh, you know, we're maxed out in our ratio. If you would like to stay with us, you're welcome to. We have our services going here, and then we have our nursing moms room. We're going to switch this out to the nursing moms room.
Oh, okay.
So we can direct them that way if they want to nurse. And feel free to use our changing table, but you know, until we get another helper, then you know, we can't just take your child. They're gonna appreciate that because they want to make sure that they're not, you know, you're not too stretched out
Right.
to watch the kids, and most of the time they're really understanding. And then this is when you have to kind of contact your leader and go, hey, Pastor Tale, can you send one more, you know, to help us? Then you know, that's what a lot of times East Honolulu is really good at that. They'll bring another adult in here so that we could take 2 more infants, you know. So we can do that. So eventually when they go downstairs, right? So we're looking at, let's say for instance, you only have 3 adults for the whole thing. And there's 2 that's going to go downstairs. So which means toddlers, 2 adults equals 8 kids, right? So they can take up to 8 kids downstairs, but you only have 3 adults right now. What do? Well, we got 2 adults everywhere at all times. We don't know what we should do, right? With that 1 person here. So now that if there's only 1% here, then this person will become more like a facilitator, where she's gonna say, oh yeah, you know, we're just opening up our nursery for parents to use. So this is, you know, you're free to come in and go as you will. We have the services going. We have the diaper changing area. We have the nursing area. So feel free to help yourself. But I'm just gonna be a facilitator. So she's not really watching their kids. The parents are watching the kids. Because I know sometimes some regions, they only have a few nursery workers, right? So we're trying to make it so that 1 person is the facilitator, and then but we have a stronger force downstairs, two adults.
Oh, okay, I see.
So that they could have 8 kids downstairs. All right. This 18 months and 19 months are not by the book. You know, it's like, oh, your child is 18 months now, 19 months. You have to go downstairs. Well, we don't want to be like that. We want to talk to the parents and say, hey, I know that Johnny is turning 19 months. He's gonna be going downstairs. How do you feel about that? You know, because they do the diaper changing and all of that downstairs. However, if you got a little boy,
right,
and they're not ready to go downstairs, then we can say, you know what, he can stay here until you feel like he's ready to go downstairs. So it could be 21 months, you know. But then you have some of these Polynesian babies, they're like 15 months and they're huge, right? And they're over here kind of, you know, ruling the place. And so when that happens, you might want to talk to the parent and go, hey, you know, I noticed that, you know, she's kind of big for her age, and would you be open to going downstairs? You know.
Okay.
Now, if you don't feel comfortable talking about that with the parents, no problem. You just call me and just let me know the situation, and then I'll go ahead and talk to the parent.
Okay.
And then we can decide, you know, if because sometimes they got their older brothers or sister downstairs and they want to be.
Right.
So it's an easy transition for them. But I don't want us to be like too stickler about, you know, 19 months or, you know, anything like that. For the food, we don't want any adult food here, because a lot of times we have events and then we'll bring a plate from the AFC and we're eating. It doesn't look professional, right? You got parents coming in and you got, like, you know, broccoli. You're eating broccoli and they're trying to take the baby. But then that's the other part is they cook things that have peanuts in it. And peanuts, for kids that are allergic to nuts, they don't have to really eat it to be allergic to it. They could it could be airborne, and if they smell it, then they could be allergic to it. So we have to kind of watch that. Food handling, you always want to be using the glove, even though you're using cups to pick up, or you might be pouring it. Either way, you have to wear gloves when you're handling food, and then also gloves when you're changing as well. So what else? No stuffed animals, because you'll see that we got rid of all of our stuffed animals. It's just because you can't sanitize it very well, and a child might be, biting onto it, and then the next child will get whatever the other child has. So we're getting rid of all the stuffed animals. Now, if there's a child that brings their stuffed animals here, we kind of leave it on the side. But we have to kind of really look. If they're really attached to their stuffed animal, then we let them hold them, but we don't want to pass that around. We always have to make sure that we fill out all the forms. So you got your nursery sign-in 6 p.m. form that all the parents have to sign in, and then all the volunteers have to sign in as well. Yeah. So the reason for that is if somebody wanted to sue the church for whatever reason, the nursery is like the best way for them to find fault. So we are, we're very we could be liable in a lot of ways. So that's why we're tightening up our security, making sure that we know who were here, just in case there was any kind of accusations. We can see, okay, well, we had all these, people signed up. It wasn't just one person, and all of that, and we can make sure that, oh wait, Johnny wasn't here on that Sunday night. You see, so it's very important that we fill those things out. And then the new kids, we have another form for the new kids that you can fill out, and so that we have all their information. So we want the adult to be the one that's right here, picking up the child, and then bringing them over here. We don't want any junior helpers coming over here. So what happens is I'm going to be telling the junior helpers, when the adult comes to bring the child here, now their job is to distract the child from seeing the mom. So you're kind of blocking the way, showing them the toys, and then you're kind of pulling them away, and then you're interacting with them, introducing them to the other kids, or oh, check out this book, check out this toy. So they're not focused on their parents leaving. They're more focused on the toys and things like that. So yeah. We'll also have water jug here. If you don't have any, you can go to the AFC kitchen to get some. If you don't can get into the kitchen, you just go right downstairs, and then there's a place where you can fill up.
Okay.
Yeah. I also want to encourage you to sing along, sing with them, pray for them, even maybe share a quick Bible story, or at least something like, hey, Jesus loves you, he cares for you so much, you're wonderfully made, and things like that. So it's they're feeling the love of Jesus, and we're tending to some of the spiritual side of they're coming to church rather than just being a child care. It's more of a ministry to them, right? Normally what we do is after every service we would disinfect all the toys that are out. So we have right here the wipes. So this is when as they're getting picked up, you can already have some of the junior helpers and some helpers that could be cleaning and then putting it back for the next service. So Sunday night it'll be all the way till the next Sunday morning. But if you could help with that, wiping down the furnitures, vacuuming, and then we got some of the Swiffer mops to go over. So cleaning it really well for the next ministry that's coming in. All right, how do we handle difficult children? So the difficult children, we want to try to handle them as much as we can. But if there's a way, there's like, okay, we got to call the parent. You can let one of us know, or you could have someone, your leader, contact them, and then just call them out. Maybe even coming out here and then talking to them outside. Hey, this is what's going on. Johnny's been crying for about 15 minutes. Do you want to take him, or do you want us to try to keep comforting him? You know, so it's a decision that's made out there rather than, you know, once they see mom and dad,
right,
then
right.
You know, they're expecting. And then the other kids see mom and dad, they think, oh, it's time to, you know, for me to be picked up. So you have that. And then TV usage. So in here, because it's going to be infants, we're going to have the service going, because there might be some parents that's going to come and they just want to hang out. Mm-hmm. So we let parents hang out with their kids in here, as long as they're not changing other kids' diapers or anything like that. They're welcome to just hang out and watch the service from here, or go into the nursing room. However, once we move the older kids downstairs, downstairs will not have the service going.
Okay.
Yeah, just because we want them to focus on the kids. Couple of things: a male or a minor cannot change diaper, so it has to be a female and an adult. And then also, it's something that you would want to talk to the parents about. You know, is it okay for us to change the diaper, or do you want us to call you?
Okay.
So it's, you know, if you have a question, they should, when they sign in, they should have a number there, and then you can just text them.
Okay.
Yeah.